Hey, Tony Gasson's here, popping in. Now, I don't have much time on here. What I got, 18 minutes to my next coaching session. Before I get started, Stephon, we need your help with the boys' summer program. The link is in the description, so please look out for us. You and Cardi, maybe ask her; she'll help us out. We're trying to get to St. Louis, Kansas City next week, and then 2 weeks after that, we got St. Louis. So I think both of those in Missouri. Got to travel. I think we traveling 16 boys. So, and because of what Trump have us in right now, just over there with those ladies and gentlemen over there, the fuel prices are doubled. So therefore, the airline cost is insane. The price for those tickets. But wanting to touch on this because this is a new type of man. This isn't directly about Stephon Diggs. I don't know him. I just know what he represents. And so I'm speaking on that type of man because that type of man is becoming more and more, is being raised up more. And I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why. So there was a young man who came out and said that he was riding in the car with Stephon and that Stephon whipped out, whipped out his thing and went to pleasuring himself. And then when they got to the house, he say Stephon leaned over in his ear and whispered something like, "Let's go in here and have a good time," or something like that. He said he was just like kind of blown away that the man pulled out his thing in front of him like that. And I could tell he was telling the truth. You just don't tell a lie that casually. And then now here comes a lady. She go to trial, and I think she was trying to say he did something to her, like assaulted her or something like that. And I believe I read he was found not guilty. Now, the thing that you have to understand about that is just because he was found not guilty doesn't mean that he's not guilty. It's just that you only can do what you could prove. Like if you can't prove, like OJ Simpson could have did it, but if you can't prove it in court, then you're not guilty. And that's just how the law works. And sometimes you not guilty, and in court you get found guilty. That's how the law works. So, but the thing about it is, what I want to talk about is this type of man that is being raised up and that's out here a lot more, and that is a hypersexual man, an overly sexual man, a man who is battling something on the inside and a very strong sense of lust. Some call it a sex addiction or what have you. A lot of times it's sexual confusion. One thing I will say is that if what the man said about what Stephon did, that would mean that Stephon is a gay man. And so if you're not gay publicly, then that means you are a down low man. And I believe what we are experiencing a lot more today are men who are in the closet. And that's causing a lot of issues. I personally believe that the man who took the 8 lives in Shreveport was a closeted man. I believe that the man who took the lieutenant governor, former lieutenant governor in Virginia, who took his wife's life and his life was a closeted man. I believe the man down south who took the young lady's life, who I believe she worked in government, was a closeted man. I just believe that a lot of these men are battling the spiritual and taking it out on somebody in the physical. And that's just a very real thing that's happening. And it's unfortunate. And the reason why, and that's why I try to tell y'all, like, take your son and your daughter phone. If you get them a phone, take their phone at night. So, and have a rule, no phone in the room. You got to put a rule, no phone in the room. Phone got to be in public areas. So that way you can always look over there and see what they looking at. Always when they around that phone, for the most part, now yes, they can go to school and watch it. They could be on the bus and watching it. They could get into a different type of ways. But one thing that I'm also noticing is that there's so much access to this debauchery and filth on the phone that it's also now affecting a lot of women. A lot of women are getting into this stuff and watching this stuff and going to the zoo. And because that's why I see it, is like when you watching that filth, it's like it's debaucherous, it's barbarianism. It's like when you go to the zoo and you see the gorillas hunching, you see, and some people don't know what hunching mean. That mean having sex. You see the gorillas hunching. You see the lions, tigers, and bears hunching, and you just out there and you like, whoa. You see the wildebeest hunching. You see the zebras, the giraffes, and like, my goodness, I'm just coming up here to the zoo, and I'm up here to the zoo. All this knocking of the boots is going on in every cage. Like, what is going on? And the kids, you see the tortoises. The tortoise, one of them climb up on the bike of the other one and be weighing out. And the kids be like, why is everybody riding everybody's bike? Is this the day of the bike ride? And you trying to explain it to your child. Well, yeah, sometimes they want to ride each other's bike. And that's what watching that corn is like. It's like you are at the zoo and you watching other people do what they supposed to be doing in private. You watching it with a clear view. And that is demonic. It's demonic, and it is perverting society. The other thing is sleepovers. So many parents, because of the economy and because of their socioeconomic positioning, have to work 2 and 3 jobs. A lot of people have to work graveyard shift. That means overnight shift, for those of y'all who never had to work that. And so that's leading to a lot of sleepovers. It's leading to a lot of unprotected children who are around uncles and aunts and grandma and granddaddy and older cousins and people in and out of the grandparents' house, because the grandparents' house is, as we know, the place of refuge. So when children are left at a grandparents' house, they uncles, they aunties, they first cousin, they second cousin, they third cousin. It's a lot of people in and out their house. And a lot of times the youth get violated at a young age. And so they at night, they playing house and they get turned out. And a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about, because that was a common thing growing up. Oh, let's play house. And you play house in school. You play house at home in the neighborhood. You playing house and don't know what you're doing until you do. One day you end up getting taught and you learn, okay, this what this is. And then you learn about it. And so that produces this type of individual, like what we see in a Stephon Diggs, just this hypersexuality, men saying they doing stuff, women saying they doing stuff, all of these multiple women having babies at the same time, sleeping with the chef, sleeping with the hair braider, sleeping with the girlfriend, sleeping with the other random women, 3-4 women pregnant at the same time. That is just another level of hypersexuality. That's a whole nother level. But it comes from an internal battle. And it's a lot of men going through this and struggling with this. And it's also women struggling with it. I've seen women coming out in the comments saying that they just overcame their corn addiction and that they was into it. I remember one time a gentleman came to me and talked to me about his younger female family member who he found out is addicted to the corn. And I think she found it through his device. And it's a lot of men and women who are into this stuff, and that's also hindering their organic, natural, real connection to other people. And So that's a real thing. Y'all got to forgive me and pause real quick. My wife sent me a TikTok. Let me see what this. I don't like to leave her TikTok wait because she be one them TikTok responding to. It don't be nothing but something funny. Ooh, wow. Lady got a Birkin bag. Her friend gave her a Birkin bag, asking her to be the maid of honor. So I ain't even got to click and watch it. See what that is. Wife said she want to be that rich. LOL. She was sharing stuff with me like I'm her home girl. Like that's a video for your home girl. A woman, I'm not a maid. A man can't be a maid of honor. Some of these men carrying Birkins, I would never. You ain't gonna never catch me carrying a Birkin bag, not no purse. And they make a man book bag like Ramoa made it right here, book bag. My wife got me. Book bag night. Nah, Ramoa made that right there. Birkin make one of those I carry. So listen, and that's the thing, like, you know, even with like the Stephon Diggs type of guys, you know, in the NFL and the NBA, they carrying purses, they carrying Birkin bags, they carrying bags that look like a woman's purse. That is hypersexuality. When the genders become fluid, when you start to blur the lines of masculine and feminine, male and female, and men start to dress in some of the same type of attire that a woman would dress in, and women start to dress in the same type of attire that a man would dress in, that comes from that corn. That comes from being violated at a young age. That comes from that debauchery, that perversion. And the thing about it is, people are a victim of this. This stuff rarely is by choice. A lot of times it's put in their face. They're introduced to it. They're shown it. They somebody older than them who is broken and twisted or traumatized or hurt or whatever it may be, introduces the younger, more vulnerable person to it, because they are battling and suffering from it. And that's how demons begat demons. That the spiritual, remember, like, spirits don't die, they transfer. So if a demon leave you, it's going to your family member, to your next of kin. Just like they say energy don't die, it transfer. That's what happens. And so that's what you got to realize and understand. Like, it's one of those situations to where it's not easy to understand, but you gotta go to the wilderness. You're gonna have to fast. You might could break it with a 72-hour fast and prayer and supplication. It may take a 72-hour fast every week. You know, I'm gonna start trying to fast. If my wife let me, she be making all kind of lunch and stuff. And she cooking steak today. It's like, man, I can't run from no steak. She brought me a chicken and egg chicken and egg bowl home from Chick-fil-A today. Can't fast when that food hit me in that face. You hear me? And so that's what I want you to realize and think about. Start to really understand and get to that place to if you're an adult, for one, you address yours: prayer, supplication, fasting, and y'all forgive my son texting. And so, you know, it's one of those situations to where you got to do the work. And I'm gonna tell you, see, what a lot of people don't understand is the mind. You got a spirit, but the spirit is connected to the mind. When you fast, everything. I forgot to tell my son. Send this to my son. When you fast, you start to heal the mind, because you heal the gut. And don't think it's strange that God sent his servants to fast. 40 days, 40 nights. There's a company out there that they assist you in a 40-day fast. Like they do a thing to where they have a center that you can go and stay at, and they assist you through a fast. And one of those situations, so yeah. But hey, God bless you. Keep your head up. Got a call in 3 minutes sending this here. And I'm gonna tell y'all, let me tell y'all what I just sent my son. This thing from Chat GPT. So he got a call with the school in Bristol, Tennessee. And I went to Chat GPT for another school. I done did it for 3 schools now. And I just told it, hey, tell me the good, bad, and ugly about this city. And put it on an infographic. And the thing did it. And so he having talks with these different schools in the transfer portal. And I had the thing. Now, if I had to hire one of y'all, it would have took you a couple hours. So that's $50, $25 an hour. Then would have had to send it to a graphic designer who can actually make something like this. That would have been $40 to $75, $80, and would have took a couple days. ChatGPT made a thing in 5 minutes or less. Listen, you better learn what your skill is and what you can do. Because some people have replaced me with ChatGPT. They go to ChatGPT and say, what would Tony Gaston say about this here situation? And they listen to what it say. And it be wrong, but they don't know because they ain't talked to me. So they don't know what I say. And a lot of stuff is getting replaced by AI. So you better pray for Lord that you got something that can't be replaced, or that you learn what AI ain't gonna be able to do. I just talked to a client who could bake pound cakes. AI ain't gonna be able to bake no pound cake. What it could do though, what they're gonna do is they're gonna eventually in 10 years or less have an AI oven. They're gonna have AI robots. They're gonna have AI everything to where eventually gonna make it robotic enough to where it can make a pound cake. And they're gonna start doing everything. They already got the AI driving the cars now. Got the robot cars, the Waymos. Like, listen, the world is changing. You better talk to the Lord. You better talk to the Lord. But hey, this Tony Gaskins. God bless you. Keep your head up. We'll talk soon. Call right now.